awe and I'm in much appreciation. Then it became, what can I do? How can I be selfless and how can I help? And I figured out one day that it wasn't the NBA and it wasn't being an Olympian that was my call. My call was to have a bigger cause, which was to change the course and help someone overcome addiction. I guarantee you this is, for me, the most meaningful day of my life. Today is the most gratifying day for me because this shows that we care.
On your mark. Get set. Go. Go, get it! All right, my next friends, come on. Go back.
You want a medal? Good job, bud. You got a prize? You get a prize?
You did it.
Uncle Vinny, have a great time.
Okay, thank you so much for coming out this morning. I'm in awe and I'm in much appreciation. I want to first thank God for His grace and His mercy, because without His grace and His mercy, I wouldn't be able to stand here before you today. I want to thank my mother and my father for being here today. I'd like to thank my wife and my children for being here today. I also want to thank my congregation, Full Gospel Tabernacle, for being here today. Thank Goodwin, the middle school, the high school, Old Saybrook's fire department, Old Saybrook's police department, and I want to thank all the sponsors for coming out today and helping us with this amazing cause. So much has been said about it, and I'm going to be very brief, but I just wanted to thank the people who made this possible for us to be here today. And one of the things I was thinking about writing this elaborate speech and talk, but it's really not about me this morning, so I want to get us to running as soon as possible because it's a bigger cause than me. As the statistics were read earlier, 19 to 20 million Americans or more suffer from this disease. And so I want to give my thanks to my brother. He's the executive director of my foundation. And as it was mentioned earlier, we could not have had this event without him, RJ Bunch. Arch, could you come up? I also want to thank Project Courage, and everyone from Project Courage. Andy, Jason, can you guys come up, please? I want to thank the town of Old Saybrook, all my family and friends that are here this morning. Thank you so much for coming. It's really simple why I'm here. That's the reason for no elaborate speech. It's really simple. My story is well documented, kind of a fall from grace because of my addiction to alcohol. And if anyone knows me well and have gone to Goodwin and gone to the middle school and gone to Old Saybrook High School, University of Hartford, you pretty much know that I wasn't going out like that. So I had to first get myself right. I had to overcome my illness, overcome my disease. Despite the story, despite the stigma, I had to understand what was really going on in my life with this disease. And I did that 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago. I started in Middletown. Thank you. And really began to work on my body and work on my spirituality and work on my my mind again. And once I decided to do that, I understood that the sky was the limit as far as what we could do to help this cause. And so once I started working on me, the story became pretty old for me, that one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time, and here I am 7 years later, and then it became, what can I do? How can I be selfless, and how can I help? Those who might be in trouble, those who might be going into trouble, how could I help? How could I use the platform, the story that's been tied to me to turn things around? And so that was my idea with joining with Project Courage, is changing the narrative. So many people had heard so much about what happened with the pros and the NBA and the All-Stars and its fall from grace from basketball. And I figured out one day that it wasn't the NBA and it wasn't being an Olympian that was my call. My call was to have a bigger cause, which was to change the course and help someone overcome addiction. And I can tell you guys, as an athlete and as a person, just a human being, and as a person, that there's no better moment in your life when you figure out what your actual purpose is. It wasn't to score baskets, it wasn't to rebound basketballs, it wasn't to block shots, it wasn't to win a championship. It was to give back to my community. And there's no better place I wanted to come back and give back and start this mission, continue this journey in this wonderful town of Old Saybrook. So again, thank you guys so much for taking the time out this morning. I can guarantee you this is, for me, the most meaningful day of my life, to have you guys come out and support this cause. As you guys can see, this is bigger than me. It's bigger than us all, but we all can play our small part in overcoming the stigma. We can play our small part in overcoming the death total each year. And it starts here today. And I was reading this quote, or I've known this quote, is that people don't care what you know until they know that you care. They don't care what you know until they know that you care. And as we talked about, it was wonderful writing the book for HarperCollins and doing God in Starbucks. But today is the most gratifying day for me because this shows that we care. And we're providing hope for those who feel hopeless right now. As we talked about before, the one thing that I lost, it wasn't my fortune, it wasn't my house, it wasn't my restaurant. The one thing that hurt me the most was that I had lost hope. And that's what started me on this journey to use this platform to provide hope. You can lose anything. All that material stuff really doesn't matter. It certainly doesn't matter to me. But the most important thing that we can't lose as human beings is our hope. And a lot of people who suffer from addiction have lost hope. And I'm here to provide hope. I'm grateful for Project Courage. As I mentioned, I'm grateful for RJ. I'm grateful for Full Gospel Tabernacle. I'm grateful for the town of Old Saybrook. I'm so grateful for my family and friends who came here to walk and run today, because this is showing that we care, and it's also providing hope. I hope you guys know how important this is to those people who don't have voices right now, to those people who are, I went to San Francisco this year and with the Milwaukee Bucks, and we were playing at Golden State, and I was able to walk around the town for about a day. We were there for a couple of days, and I literally shed full tears seeing the people in Golden State. Now, if you're outside of Golden State, all you think about is the Warriors and this dynasty. But I was able to walk the streets of San Francisco and see that there's a homelessness rate, addiction rate, opiate use, alcoholics just wandering the streets with no help. No one stopped, everyone walking past them. And I literally got in full-blown tears to say, no one is stopping to provide hope. And today we have an opportunity to provide hope to the people that we know in our families, to the people that we've seen and walked past. Today is a start to provide that hope. So thank you so much for coming out this morning. Again, this is not about me. I am the son of a minister, and I had Starbucks this morning, so that's why I'm still going a little bit longer than I anticipated. But thank you so much for coming out, Old Saybrook. The shoreline, Old Saybrook, everywhere, from wherever you came from in Connecticut, we are going to shake up the world today, the addiction world today. And thank you so much. We're going to turn the course of this. We're going to end addiction today. And we're going to start one person at a time, 1 mile at a time. For me, 1 crawl at a time. I don't know what kind of shape I'm in, but I'm going to try to finish this thing today. But we are here to end addiction. Again, it's not about me. It's about you guys coming out and showing that you care and providing hope. So thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed with joy. I'm overwhelmed with happiness. I want to thank all of our sponsors that came out today. I want to thank all of the news and media that came out to show support today. I can't name you all, but thank you so much for coming out, because this platform that you've given us will help save lives, and that's what we're here to do. Thank you so much.
So the Vin Baker Foundation is dedicated to improving the lives of addicts and their families, getting them the resources they need, and making sure that we are ending addiction today. So as a member of Project Courage, I am proud to be a part of this and have all of you here, and I can't thank you all enough for the support that you've shown. And on behalf of Project Courage and all the people here, we're going to present Vin with this amazing check for the Vin Baker Foundation for $120,414. So thank you all. We're going to do better next year and every day from here on in. Enjoy the race.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner sinner yet wait o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
Gabrielle Leone, everybody.